Captain Brodie Torrance only wanted to make it home to Honolulu to spend the holidays with his daughter, Daniela. But fate had other plans. Piloting Trailblazer Airlines, Flight 119, Brodie, a former RAF pilot, takes off from Singapore with a storm looming ahead. His crew includes the steady co-pilot Samuel Delay and chief flight attendant Bonnie. Among the passengers is a dangerous wildcard, Louis Gaspare, a former French Foreign Legion soldier and accused killer, under escort by an RCMP officer. What begins as a routine flight quickly spirals into chaos as the storm batters the plane. Turbulence claims the lives of the RCMP officer and a stewardess, and the plane suffers critical damage. With no radar or comms, Brodie and Deal manage a daring emergency landing on a remote island in the Philippines, Jolo, a region notorious for violent separatists. As the shaken passengers disembark, Brodie and Dealey realize the true danger hasn't yet begun. Jolo is a lawless land ruled by rebel leader Datu Junmar, whose men quickly set their sights on the stranded survivors as lucrative hostages. Brodie must rally the passengers while keeping Louis, a man with a violent past, at arm's length. Back in New York, Trailblazers crisis manager Scarsdale uncovers Brodie's colorful history, including a viral video of him subduing an unruly passenger mid-flight. Recognizing the grave threat posed by the island's rebels, Scarsdale assembles a private mercenary team to rescue the passengers, knowing the Philippine government won't intervene. Meanwhile, Brodie and Louis venture into the jungle to find help. They reach a crumbling tower and manage to contact Trailblazer HQ, but their plea is dismissed as a hoax. Desperate, Brodie calls Daniela, giving her a clue to their location before being ambushed by a rebel. In a brutal fight, Brodie kills the attacker only to discover the tower was a site of torture and ransom videos. Back at the plane, Junmar's forces arrive, taking the passengers hostage. In a chilling display of power, they murder 2 passengers in cold blood to instill fear. Brodie and Louis, hiding nearby, resolve to strike back. The mercenary team finally lands on Jolo but finds only carnage at the crash site, and a message from Brodie. As the rebels prepare ransom videos, Brodie and Louis infiltrate the village where the hostages are held. Using their combined skills, they silently eliminate several rebels, freeing the passengers. A high-stakes bus escape ensues, with Brodie sacrificing himself to buy time. Beaten and captured by Junmar, Brodie faces execution. But the mercenaries launch a precision attack, rescuing him and gunning down the rebels. Junmar discovers his brother among the dead, vowing vengeance. The passengers and crew return to the battered plane, desperate to escape before reinforcements arrive. With the rebels closing in, Brodie and Deal attempt the impossible, getting the crippled plane airborne. Louis, now armed with the rebels' stolen ransom money, decides to stay behind, knowing his freedom lies off the grid. As the plane roars down the makeshift runway, Junmar fires an RPG, but Brodie's piloting skills turn the attack against him, killing Junmar in a final act of defiance. With only one engine and minimal control, Brodie navigates to a nearby airstrip on Siasi Island, pulling off a near-miraculous landing. Relief and cheers erupt at Trailblazer HQ as the passengers deboard, grateful to be alive. Sitting on the plane's steps, battered but unbroken, Brodie makes one final call to his daughter Daniela, promising her that he's coming home.